video is going to be a bit chaotic. This is not going to be very linear. I have a lot of ideas about this, written them down several times, several places, a lot of like sources and all that kind of shit. So I'm going to start with a point, and then we're going to try to I'm just going to kind of throw things at you that I think are helping illustrate my point or an adjacent point until I exhaust myself, essentially. That's the plan for this video. I write things for other videos, and I essentially don't know how to structure the video so it doesn't get recorded. I'm going to stop doing that, right? Yeah, let's see how this goes. Am I loud? Am I quiet? I never know where to put the mic. I need to make my bed. I don't know where to put the camera. I'm not going to do the video like this, don't worry. Would that be funny? Would that be... All right, turn this off. Oh, to any Stardew Valley players, I was about to go to bed. I didn't just wake up. Now the Xbox is off. So I just lost my day on Stardew Valley, so I need a strong intro because this is not going to cut it. This is basically going to be a video on propaganda. I'll try to make that point down the line because I'm not starting very strong. But we have GunWaifu on Twitter. She says, when you're mean to Israel, this is who you're being mean to. Okay, now, explain what you're doing, a pro-Palestinian teenager being arrested for saying Zionist or terrorist. Zionist or terrorist is an opinion, I believe, and a valid one. But you're also tweeting just this horrible, okay, a group of Palestinians kidnapped and tortured. Extremely common tactic used in Israel. They literally committed terror attacks right before getting caught by the IDF. Oh, and be sure rape, okay. Weird twist. See, this is what I mean by the propaganda. When I uploaded the last video, right, I realized that Israel is doing well and the Mossad is winning because still nobody sees a problem with anything that's going on. They know that Gaza is being bombed and all that. Nobody really cares. I uploaded it with the feeling of, I guess maybe Israel is doing a good job. But then right around the time I uploaded that video, I started seeing things get a little strange. And I think you'll see what I mean. The point that I'm trying to make in this video is that I don't know that they will lose in Gaza. Israel is not going to win in Gaza. It can't happen. They've already ruined it for themselves. The problem with that too is that they're cocky, so they're actually making it worse. It'll be interesting to see what happens because I feel like people are starting to notice how ridiculous this is. BDS is going to come out real quick. Hey Israel, come at me for BDS laws, all right? I will boycott all day. I'll tax evade to stop you from bombing. No, I'm not going to do that. I wish... But why do I have to pay for it? I'm not even conservative at all. But why do I have to pay for this as an American without any choice? As to the public is going to kind of do an about face on Israel at some point, I think. Hopefully that's what I'm going to illustrate here. But this argument does hinge on the fact that public knowledge makes a difference, which is where I may be completely wrong. Because we still have to pay our taxes being used to give missiles to Israel to bomb Gaza. That's where I might be wrong. But I do believe Israel is actually starting to lose, and I think that it's way too late. Let's get right into the news. If anybody gets the reference, comment. Back to GunWaifu on Twitter. This is what we've got. Rabbi Shmuley. This man made me realize that shit was going downhill for Israel. This happened 9 days ago. This happened 2 days ago. So starting with this, you can see if you need any more additional context for yourself, the channel, the name of the video, Rabbi Shmuley, Cenk, I can't say his name. Cenk Uygur, maybe, I don't know. They are debating. Simple enough. Well, not simple enough, but whatever, you get the point. Context that you need to know. Simply, Rabbi Shmuley said that Cenk can go first. Rabbi Shmuley will respond. That is the setup that you need for this, okay? That's the context you need.
So please stop the murders. Ceasefire right now.
Rabbi Shmuley, your response.
Simple enough. He said, stop the murders. This is what he said. This is how blatant it is. This is how blatant it is. That's why I'm making this video. Look at how just clearly Rabbi Shmuley is embarrassing the Jewish people right now. Let's watch.
Ceasefire right now.
Rabbi Shmuley, your response.
Cenk is polling in the Democratic presidential primaries at 0%, nothing. He has a greater likelihood of being elected the new king of...
Okay, we got let's take a breath, everybody, okay? Because I know we have to unpack that slowly. Because if I remember, Let's watch it back, because I thought what happened, he said, stop the murders, stop the bombing, stop the violence. In response, he said, polling, it's 0% right now. Like, I get racked? What kind of... So? What does that have to do with... I don't see what that has to do with him asking you to stop bombing. When your side is, I think we should continue to bomb, the first thing you're saying is to discredit and make fun of the other person. Is that what an ad hominem attack is? If I'm going to use that term, I need to know what it means, right? Okay, cool. So there is a word for it. Immediately starts with an ad hominem attack. There is a name for it. And this person is polling at 0% right now. What does that say? That says, don't listen to him, listen to me. It doesn't really matter what he's saying. I feel like I need to explain basic parts of speech in case people aren't catching on here. I thought that was what happened, right? But I might have forgotten something. So let me just make sure we have all the context here.
Ceasefire right now.
Rabbi Shmuley, your response.
Cenk is polling in the Democratic presidential primaries at 0%, nothing. He has a greater
That's not
likelihood
true.
of being elected the new king of France. And don't interrupt me, please. To
I
defend
didn't say
ourselves
any of that. Can you
against
stop lying?
the brutality
I didn't say
and the
any of that.
savagery of Hamas. Cenk, you'll have your turn. Just show some decency. If you're not going to show it to my people, show it to me and show it to the viewers of the show.
Are you guys seeing this right now? Cenk asked him to stop lying. And he said, why are you disrespecting me? That's how a child, that's how, like, who argues like that? Hey, can you stop lying about me? I don't like your tone right now. But you just belittled me in front of a national television audience. Hey. Look at him, he's doing it. We're doing the same thing. His argument is, don't interrupt me. You show my people no respect. This is what's wrong with pride, by the way. This is a common theme here. The same kind of like Asian pride, like you messed something up, like you gotta do better, right? And they're like, oh no, well I'm bringing like shame to my family and I gotta do something different. Well, I'll show you I can make it better. That stereotype. Flip it around, make it that you actually hate them instead. And that's why you're trying to hold them accountable for anything that they're doing. They see you holding them accountable for their actions as you being a degenerate racist, okay? Because you can't call attention to anything that they're doing wrong without it being you're disrespecting my people. Doing something very intelligent, being too obvious with it. To flip it on you like that. Now you can't, they don't give you any space to acknowledge cutting off water and electricity to a civilian population is in fact a war crime. That is a war crime. It is. Like, if you don't know why if you have the ability to do something good, you should do it. That's kind of the definition of not a war crime. Just because you're in control doesn't mean you should control it. Because you have drawn the conversation so far away from here with Israel has a right to defend itself. At this point, are you still trying to make that argument? I feel like this has gone really far. It's getting really awkward. I don't know what the hell to do with lighting in here. I'm trying to decide if this is in my eye or not, you know. I feel like these kind of pullaways make it seem like I don't care about what I'm talking about, but like... That just reminded me to bring up the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is the true Jewish conspiracy. I need a pause. This is something that I'm gonna make a joke right now that I have thought long and hard about. I don't want to get super like into the weeds with shit, okay? We're going to try not to, because I could go on all day about this. Jeffrey Epstein is the real, like, proof of a grand conspiracy. All I'm going to say is, was good friends with Ayub Barak, the Saudis. He's all over the place. He says in interviews that he has deep ties to Israel. Fast forward to something like this happening. He was also friends with every politician. Oh, what did started recognizing Israel under Bill Clinton? Wait a minute. Oh my God, we're gonna talk about the Oslo Accord. The Oslo Accords got done under Bill Clinton. Okay, Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton were friends. I wonder if Jeffrey Epstein being friends with Bill Clinton got the Oslo Accords done. I wonder if Bill Clinton was friends with the prime minister who was assassinated for the Oslo Accords. Epstein was looking out for Israel, huh? And then we fast forward to today, and no elected official or unelected official can possibly come up with anything to say along the lines of stop bombing Gaza. Nobody's allowed to call for a ceasefire. Okay, we're back now. We're back with this. Along with illustrating the point that him calling Cenk disrespectful distracting from the argument that Cenk is making a good position. In doing so, we can't talk about the fact that it's human rights violations. And we've also forgotten about the fact that if you say the fact that Hamas is the ruling government has nothing to do with this. If you say that we are only taking out Hamas targets, when you go into Gaza, you are invading a country, okay? These are people's homes. Is it in the Geneva Conventions to defend your home? Oh my God, this is perfect. According to Geneva Convention 3, because I would say what my argument was going to be before I brought up this article, which seems, oh my God, why is this in Spanish? Ignore it. I didn't even know that this was the law. What I was going to argue is that Israel occupying Palestine, because you're not doing a ground invasion, you guys are too pussy for that. You're not going to do it. You're a bunch of babies. But if you were going to do a ground invasion, or if you are, just a thing to keep in mind as you're ethically finally doing a ground invasion, it's just something to remember. Geneva Convention, Article 4 of the Third Geneva Convention, okay? What is considered a militia? Because what I'm saying is you are occupying, people are fighting you back, right? To defend their own homes. You're still supposed to let citizens maintain a free state during war times. The government can change. I believe rules of engagement would suggest that if everything is done correctly, war should not affect the daily lives of civilians in any way, right? We're seeing just the opposite of that in all of the ways. You can't go punching people in the face, and if they swing back, you don't have the right to kill them. I don't know. And now we're gonna watch this man make a fool of himself.
Man the name of whose podcast is Young Turks, who perpetrated the Armenian genocide. It's like calling your podcast the Young Nazi. Killed 1.5 to 2 million Armenians between 1915 and 1918. The Armenian community has begged Cenk to change the name of his show. For the first...
Okay, so he said the Young Turks, the Turks did the Armenian genocide. So you can't say anything about genocide and how we're doing genocide because we let you do that genocide. One time, we let you do a genocide, okay? You appreciate the fact that we let you do that genocide. Leave me alone while I do my genocide.
Armenian genocide. There is a powerful analogy there. Why was it a genocide? And yes, it was a genocide.
Apple Watch says heart rate is up.
Why? Because they moved and displaced so many people and
it's called getting money. No, I'm just kidding.
Killed civilians on the way. What is Israel doing? Moving and displacing millions of people and killing innocent civilians. It is the exact definition of a genocide.
I don't know why I'm on screen for this, just looking unentertained, because I've seen it before.
I think the Jewish people are an amazing people, but I think that the occupation is decaying the moral core. All he wants to do is an ad hominem attack, and you could tell exactly what kind of indecent human being he is, but the main reason he's doing it is to avoid the topic. When are you going to stop murdering Palestinians and cheerleading it?
Good question. Okay, he wants to respond. His response.
May I respond?
Yes.
Go ahead, more lies. Go ahead.
You know, I've spent my life debating people. Whenever
Okay, interesting. We're going to go to his Wikipedia page and kind of find out how true that is, because in another debate he has, his opponent put forth that his son is in the IDF, has a kosher sex shop. Oh, he also was backing Jeffrey Epstein, which we have to cover. At some point, he's interrupted with, didn't that synagogue excommunicate you? We got to see what's going on with him. He alleges that he has spent his life debating people. Let's hear it.
Whenever someone starts using personal names and screaming like a lunatic, they're losing the debate. Let me remain factual.
You're the one
who
made up things. The
Palestinians were offered a state in 1936 in the Peel Commission. They rejected it.
This is all right. Now he's just getting into shit that's not okay. You can't accept a deal from Israel because they'll just shit on it later. Do we have to watch this out?
Judea and Samaria and the West Bank.
What's up with this? What's Piers Morgan doing with this? I don't know what it is, but it's tacky. I can tell you that it's tacky. I also don't know why I know who the fuck Piers Morgan is. He just has people on. I don't know. He seems to be somewhat legitimized by British news, and will have decent people on his show. Most of what he does is incorrect. Whatever. You see what a hypocrite he is when he says like, oh, they always use ad hominem, but he started with an ad hominem attack. Watch this video if you don't know. If you think this is missing context, I would implore you to watch it. It really is not.
Cenk, let me start with you. Many people...
Yeah, okay. There we go. That's all the context you need. That is all the context you need. Perfect. Good call. Oh, back to, like, see, every once in a while we're going to exit out of something and we'll just, like, look at my wife being hateful again. He better be a Holocaust survivor. No, is that a bad... I don't know where the line is with jokes like that. Forgive me. No, actually, that is a good joke because nobody's saying he's a Holocaust survivor. He's saying in the reserves at 95. What is the Iron Swords War? Apparently, it's not that popular. This? Oh, they're calling this the Iron Swords War? No, they're not. No, the fuck, they're not. No, they are not. No way. I thought that the title of the war was the Israel-Hamas War. Just knowing how tasteless, like just how fascist Israel has been with some of this stuff, in the way they run propaganda, it's so just dehumanizing. I wonder if it's called the Iron Swords War because, like... They came in with paragliders and their fucking iron swords, and they took 1,400 of us out. What did we do? We nuked them. We nuked those iron swords. That's how tough we are. That's how reasonable we are. This is the Iron Swords War. This is the last time anybody brought a knife to a gunfight, motherfucker. The Iron Swords War. Oh my god. What a holy name. That's so good. Maybe you're doing all right on propaganda because that's a fire ass name. Not gonna lie, like that hits. You got me there. The Iron Sword. Can you think of something more offensive? What about this? Why is it called Iron Swords War? Yeah, so see how it's not called the Iron Sword War? Actually, this is interesting. Because I don't know what the fuck Times Now world is, to be completely honest with you. Let me use propaganda to make my point, okay? So this is perfect though, because check it out. An operation. It's an operation. Now, if we go to GunWaifu on Twitter, Natalia Fadiv, hit me up. During the Iron, he's enlisted at the age of 95 during the Iron Swords War and became the oldest reservist in the history of Israel. Now, my question there, how do I say it? Did somebody give, sir, have you been screened for dementia recently? Who is letting you do, this is really like cute for propaganda, like it really is. But, what? You let a 95-year-old enlist in the reserves during wartime? That seems like an oversight. That seems like I don't feel like you're being responsible. Make him stay home. Don't make him do anything. Girl, I like your propaganda. Let's learn a bit more about Rabbi Shmuley. That's what we're gonna do. This is the Piers Morgan video. You can see it on Piers Morgan Uncensored YouTube channel. Don't try to say it took anything out of context. You can watch it yourself.
Mahmoud Abbas is afraid to go to Gaza. He's terrified of Hamas. He hasn't been there since 2007. And let's be clear, Hamas is an abomination.
What is the difference between a hostage and a prisoner? It's like a condition.
Said that you have to allow all prisoners to be redeemed. He would never hold hostages.
In this context, if they take prisoners, they are inherently hostages. They're gonna have to die anyway. Because Israel has a policy in which if hostages are taken, those hostages' lives don't matter anymore. With the idea being a hostage can give up information, right? It's better that nobody has that information. Therefore, everybody should die as soon as possible, before they can even speak, to preserve like your own security. This is the belief that Israel has. And now he's saying like, well, they won't even take prisoners. It's like, we are going to keep hostages until you can stop bombing us. It's like a judge being like, you're going to stay in jail until you can pass a drug test. You know, same thing. What is the difference? What's the difference? Tell me the difference. Like I'm kidding, but I'm also being serious. It's like
Thai non-Jewish workers.
Thai non-Jewish? Does he mean he's wearing a tie? Or does he mean like Thailand? Is he calling him, was he from Thailand?
Workers, you asked in your last appearance here for real first-hand sources. I'm the first-hand source. I saw it in Kibbutz Alumim. They raped women. They had sex with dead women's bodies.
I call cap. I say that he's I've seen some shit, so I can say I don't care. I don't believe that you watched Hamas rape dead women's bodies. I don't believe that you saw that. I can believe that you were made to believe that that's something that happened. But you did not see that. You didn't see that happen. Prove me wrong. I also say that Hamas never decapitated a baby, let alone 40. Prove me wrong. It sounds gross, but that's why this is such good propaganda to say like Hamas decapitated babies, because nobody is gonna be like, what was the baby's name, and do you have any proof that a baby was decapitated? Give me proof that a baby was decapitated. Give me proof that you've watched somebody rape a cadaver.
I have to commend you, and the fact that you actually condemned the settlements is very good, but people want to know, do you think the IDF are a terrorist organization?
Oh yeah, this is this Mohammed Hijab guy is like he does a good job. He's a little bit of a troll. He's a little bit in the weeds. He's not the perfect, whatever.
Savagery.
Running away.
He doesn't care that Hamas is an abomination.
Running away.
See what I mean? This guy, like this Mohammed Hijab, he's kind of a troll, kind of funny.
The Al Shifa hospital is a military base.
Okay.
And that's a tiny veneer.
Let him have his minute.
And that's a tiny veneer of
Okay, so like he said, let him have his minute, and Pierce was interrupted because nobody said that. I don't believe. I'm not going to research it right now. Adam, put it later in the video. Nobody said that.
of emergency rooms.
Okay.
Oh, a minute.
But underneath all of it is a military base.
You have a minute.
And let me
to
tell you
speak.
something. If it's true,
This is
any
good.
of these countries care about the Muslim, and you know how many of them took in even one Palestinian from Gaza?
Right.
Zero. Nothing.
Zero.
Look at-
None of them. Okay, so this was my question to this. If any of those countries, I know like Egypt is letting in severely injured people and like non-Palestinian people, right? But I'm saying if any single one of those countries tried to say Palestinians, you're free to come here, Israel would just turn on that country under the guise of Hamas having moved to that country. Nobody wants the smoke from Israel, okay? Israel's mad because, they were attacked. They're embarrassed. Their feelings are hurt. All of these things. Their anger has to go somewhere. Israel will then turn to Egypt and say, hey, you weren't supposed to let in any Hamas members. According to our numbers, you've got hella Hamas members all up in your shit. So what you're going to need to do for us, let us invade you like we invaded Gaza. We took care of the Hamas in Gaza. But the problem is some of Hamas came here, and so you get it. We have to do the same thing to you guys. It's no hard feelings. We are gonna bomb the shit out of you and kill everybody, and your country will be rubble, but it's gonna be good for everybody because we're getting rid of Hamas. And that's the most important thing for the good of humanity, no Hamas. At any point did you think about it doesn't matter what is best for my personal interest when I'm harming the future of global the global level of health for this much? Oh, I know somebody who died. Enough with I know somebody who died. It's like Rabbi Shmuley talking about him watching a dead woman be raped. Do you know somebody who died? Because I can name people, Palestinians who have died in Gaza. For my safety, I'm probably not going to. They would want their names said proudly because they are martyrs. People that I know talking about yep, and my uncle died yesterday. Israel, God forbid your country gets attacked. God forbid anybody lets the Palestinian people go anywhere. Nobody lets Palestinians in because they're afraid of you. Because they see the way you treat them and they don't want to be treated that way. How fucking stupid you have to be to not see that. So obvious.
Don't intimidate me. Don't bully me.
Right after, they're such perfect victims.
See,
Rabbi
Hamas,
Shmuley.
don't intimidate me. Don't.
He said stop pointing. He asked him to stop pointing. It's been well established that pointing is rude. Stop pointing, and he said don't bully me. Do you not see how fucking unreasonable this is? This guy trying to stand up for Israel was so fucking unreasonable with his bullshit arguments and questionable moral, where Piers Morgan can't even have anybody on to defend Israel anymore because they look so bad. He started the war as a pro-Israel show. Really, does Piers Morgan seem like he's pro-Palestine to you?
Don't intimidate me. I'm not
Guys,
afraid of
I've
you.
got a better one.
Come on. Dude, he wasn't even looking at you. Do not bully me. Do not intimidate. Dude, calm down.
Are they
Unless
evil?
I'm wrong.
Are they
We've spoken
evil?
about this
Are they
before.
evil?
Stop
Are
speaking.
they
Is it me
evil?
or him I'm
Are
speaking
they
to?
evil?
Stop
Rabbi
speaking to this.
Shmuley,
It's Hamas
you're now
evil.
doing
Stop
what you
speaking.
accused him of doing.
How childish is that to do? Are they evil? Are they? Okay, stop. I get that you're horny. Calm down.
Let me ask you, what is your view of Hamas post-October 7th?
Here's my opinion. Let me be straightforward about this, right?
Okay, so the point that he's trying to put forward, he kind of does interrupt large swaths of it, is essentially the fact that you're going to call what Hamas is doing against civilians an act of terror, then you should also call the IDF a terrorist actor due to the fact that they have killed more Palestinians than Hamas killed Israelis, but also in a higher proportion civilian to military population. He's making a very good point, but he does take up most of 15 minutes to do it. He goes back and forth, tries to get people to concede on arguments, to see his side. I don't like when people do that because, you know, when you get to the surprise at the end, it's always like, oh, well, of course not. Of course I'm not agreeing with you anymore. I did see what you were saying, but this is different. So like, it doesn't work. That's why it took 15 minutes. Hopefully I just did it in 90 seconds.
What I've been advocating
What?
all along is face-to-face confrontation.
Israel should do the lawyerly thing, go into Gaza and say, hey, we believe that you have a militant group that was responsible for an attack on some of our population. We would like to do an investigation. How did this happen? What can be done to prevent this? Hold those accountable. Let me do it the Rabbi Shmuley way. 0 people could have died. 0 people could have died. You know, that's not what they did because they wanted to attack. They were looking for a reason, and then they found one, and so they went for it. That's what happened.
Rabbi Shmuley, so far, you're being more personal and ad hominem than he is.
With all
Right?
due respect, I think that's extremely unfair.
Well,
Okay, interesting. Pierce Morgan didn't even say that when he was against Cenk, so like the fact that he's saying it now, this is insane.
Responsibility for his
I don't want to be any of that.
He actually said that
I
Islam
represent
believes
myself.
in death. You're not
Okay.
going to beat us because we want to die. We're
All right.
prepared to lose thousands
Rabbi
of
Shmuley,
people.
we're taking
Is
a break.
Islam really a religion of death?
We're
You are
taking
a
a break.
poor ambassador of your
Martyrdom,
faith.
martyrdom.
Hey.
You believe in martyrdom.
Of course I
Do
do.
you want to be a martyr?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to die
Martyr-
fighting?
If you want to be such a good representative of your faith, you believe in death so much, why haven't you died yet?
Taking
Is
a break.
Islam really a religion of death?
We're
You are
taking
a
a break.
poor ambassador of your
Martyrdom,
faith.
martyrdom.
Hey.
You believe in martyrdom.
Of course I
Do
do.
you want to be a martyr?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to die
Martyr-
fighting
do you
the
know-
Jews?
I didn't say Jews. Who said Jews?
Okay.
Whoever dies defending themselves, defending their wealth,
Is that what you
is a
want?
martyr. No.
Do you want to
Excuse me,
die
excuse me,
defending
excuse
Islam?
me.
But do you want
This-
Islam?
Dude, yo! Rabbi Shmuley, it's giving Catch Me Outside. It's giving Catch Me Outside, okay? Who, in any, reasonable argument, like reasonable debate, conversation of any kind, what person who is keeping their cool just says at some point, like, do you want to die? What if somebody killed you? Then what? Huh? What would you do? It's like, well, then I'd be dead. I don't know. The fuck? What are you saying?
Do you want to die defending Islam? But do you want Islam to be a religion of peace?
Hold on.
But he's doing it. He's doing it like it seems like a joke. It seems like a bad sketch. This seems like bad sketch comedy written by an anti-Semite. This is the news. Whatever Pierce Morgan is in reference to news, this is on the news. I'm not saying that Rabbi Shmuley just threatened that man's life, but I'm saying that if somebody had spoken to me that way, I would question whether or not they were threatening my life. I may act accordingly. My confusion would be valid. I would not be able to sit down at a table and have a debate with this man. I would leap over the table.
Has Israel gone too far in its...
Yes.
Rabbi Shmuley, you have a minute starting now.
I just came here by taxi and passed the statue of Winston Churchill.
Oh, no, I don't
That's
even
in the
want to talk
lifetime of
about
our
this.
parents.
I don't want to talk about Dresden right now, and Winston Churchill, and why you shouldn't bomb Dresden just because you can bomb Dresden, and killing all of those Germans was still bad. I don't need to speak about this. Oh, I missed a spot.
Equal time
If
on this
Israel
bit,
was interested
right?
in a genocide of the Palestinians, why do they have 1.8 million equal Arab Muslim citizens who are in the Israeli Supreme Court, who are
Dude, is that a threat? He picked his words carefully. Okay, what he is trying to say, you say we want to kill these people. Well, we have these people in our own country. So how could we want to kill them if we've allowed them to be here, right? Now, there are a few things wrong with the way this is phrased. He said, they are Palestinian. We have Arab people, differentiating the two. In this man's mind, like the Arab Israelis are fine. The Arab Israelis are not savages because they've had the opportunity to grow up around Jews, and so they've learned to not be savages. Whereas they have to go. That's what he's leaving out with this.
I was interested in a genocide of the Palestinians. Why do they have 1.8 million equal Arab Muslim citizens?
Arab Muslim, they're not Palestinian. They see them as different things. Because the Arab Muslims in Israel grew up around the Jews, they look at those Muslims as domesticated. Do you see how gross he's being? The other thing that I like too, on top of this here, which is interesting, is he is saying like essentially that, listen, 2 million, 1.5 million, we are letting all of these people into our country already. Okay, what more do you want from us? If we really wanted to kill people, this is what it is. Here we go. If you think we want to kill people, Muslim people, we'll start killing our own at any time. We really don't give a shit. Like, you want to accuse me of not caring about Muslim people? Let me go stab a Muslim person just to show you that you're wrong. That's like kind of what is being postured with this. He's like, we've let them live here. We don't even think that they have a right to life, nor do we want them to be near us. But we are still allowing them to live here. You're showing too much hatred. We see through the hatred is the problem. You're doing a bad job.
Court, who are 1/3 of the medical profession. Do you know that an Arab judge put the president of Israel in jail for accused rape?
So Israel is so non-genocidal. Let's really break this down. Let's really dissect this, and then we'll watch it back again to make sure that I'm not saying anything wrong. Israel is so non-genocidal that one time an Israeli official was arrested for rape. Hey, why did he get arrested for rape? Is that not a problem? Did you just say he was arrested for rape? Like, that was something, the Palestinian government is such a small power government that if they arrested somebody for rape, they must have really had a case. And he still ended up getting arrested for rape? Must have been serious about not letting him rape. That must have been a rape problem. Posturing it like the fact that this arrest for rape, we're just using his words, right? The fact that he went to jail for rape in the first place not only was wrong, proves that we aren't pro-genocide, because when he was being arrested, we didn't kill the arresting officers and their families. Leave us alone with the bombing. Is anybody else just can't believe their eyes with this? Because now we're going to review to make sure that I didn't just add more detail and context than what is already being said.
Do you know an Arab judge put the president of Israel in jail for accused rape? That was Moshe Katsav.
Oh, so it didn't even happen in Palestine because Palestine doesn't have a government. Rephrase my argument. Okay, so the judge that put him in jail happened to be Arab, and therefore we don't want to kill, which proves we don't want to kill Palestinians.
Say it outright then say it.
The Jews have the right to defend themselves.
They do.
Yes, they do.
So that's why we have to go.
Everybody has a right to defend themselves.
Everybody has a right to defend themselves. So do people living in Gaza, trying to go about their own business and want to live because I want to live outside of Rafah. I have no right to own a home. And you say temporarily, but people during the Nakba, talked about that at the end of my last video if you want to see that. They brought their key with them, the key to their home, when they left in 1949 or 48. When they left their homes, they brought their keys. The hope of coming back to their home one day. None of those keys ever were used. That's why people in Gaza have trust issues when you say just temporarily evacuate your homes, okay? What a piece of shit, this fuck.
Right? I saw you excommunicated from your rabbis.
I am a rabbinic.
Were you excommunicated from your rabbis? For your religious mentors to excommunicate you, you have to, what a sack of shit you have to be. How righteous you have to be for that to give you no pause to be excommunicated and to just be like, yeah, well, fuck them. Well, I'm right. Okay. Well, now you're on the internet making a fucking fool of yourself. How right could you have been? They seem like reasonable people.
Is there a limit to the number of civilians in Gaza that Israel can kill to try and
That's
eliminate
a good question.
Hamas?
That's a great question.
Yes, there is.
Thank you, but let me ask you.
Not even one. Not one beautiful Palestinian child should have to die because Hamas kicked out Mahmoud
That wasn't my
Abbas.
question.
And
What? Last debate, Somebody said stop bombing and you said, hey, you're a loser. That's why nobody votes for you. Why don't you lead with I hate the bombing if you believe that not one hair on a Palestinian child's head should be harmed?
You know, I just got a haircut coming here by an Arab barber here in London.
This is where he gets racist.
He said to me, I hope you defeat this guy because he doesn't represent us. We want to live. We want to have good lives. We want to be religious.
All right.
We want to eat
Let me
halal.
ask-
But we don't
all right.
want to die for martyrdom.
Don't want to die from martyrdom, which is something that we've established that Rabbi Shmuley has put on him as a straw man argument. Let's continue.
You are
Let
not a
me-
Muslim. You're an Islamist. You're
Let
an
me ask-
Islam.
There it is. You're not a Muslim. You're an Islamist.
You are
Let
not a
me-
Muslim. You're an Islamist.
Okay. Muslim. Definition. Islamist. Definition. What is a Muslim? A follower of the religion of Islam. Relating to Muslims or their religion. What religion? Islam. He's calling him an Islamist, not a Muslim, to make it sound more inflammatory in order to so that he can be looked at as an existential threat, a threat to your way of life. He is being racist in order to make his opponent look hostile, essentially. Religio-political ideology, like, they're trying to make it a political ideology. It's a religion. This is racist.
Hamas has 240 hostages they took, including babies.
Sure.
Who brings their baby to a music festival?
Why should Israel agree to
At this point, yeah, I'll make that joke.
ceasefire so long as those hostages are still being kept hostage?
Hey. How are we supposed to exchange hostages if there has been no ceasefire? How is there any type of hostage exchange without a ceasefire? If there is not a ceasefire before a hostage exchange, a hostage will be fired at, okay? Or is everybody following? And then Hamas will be responsible for their death, even though the bullet has the Star of David. I'm not going to be able to find it, but there's a video in the West Bank. See, and this is what I meant by jumping around, because I don't know if I'm going to go into a whole deep dive on the West Bank right now. So there's this video in the West Bank. I don't know if we're going to find it. I might pull it up. Essentially, like, an Israeli settler has pulled over a Palestinian at gunpoint and is now searching through his car, right? I don't know why, what is happening, but okay, you're missing the point. That why this is happening. By the IDF, like Israeli police, which falls under military, adjacently, they've been given permission to settle in the West Bank. What does settle mean? It means exactly what you would imagine. If you're playing Civilization by Sid Meier and you built a settler, go make a city, right? If you hire a settler, you expect them to go find somewhere, just establish a territory, whatever. An Israeli settler, which is a private citizen of Israel, right? Now we cut to this video. He, at gunpoint, has pulled over a Palestinian who was driving, right? He was driving, then he had a gun aimed at him. He was enticed to stop driving. He is pulled out of his car. His car is being searched. He's looking at these two settlers. What are you doing? Please stop. What are you doing? To be clear, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how special you are. I'm talking to you. How violated would you feel if you were held at gunpoint by two strangers? You had your car searched. What if they took nothing? I mean, they stole your wallet, of course. Why wouldn't they steal your wallet? Even if they took nothing, you would call the fucking police. Because what the fuck? And that's exactly what happens in this video. In this Palestinian, now we have to watch the video. Probably gonna play it after I'm done talking. Now this Palestinian man is standing outside of his car in broad fucking daylight. And he is just asked, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you in my car? Almost to the point of are you looking for something in specific where I can help you? Because, you're just kind of being irresponsible with how you're leaning on the door. In response to that, these Israeli settlers turn on him, right? And they're like, hey, do you want us to fucking kill you? Do you want to die? Much like Rabbi Shmuley said earlier in this interview, do you want to die? Shut the fuck up. Or are you trying to die right now? The Palestinians, yes, shoot me. Please just shoot me. Nothing makes sense anymore. I thought that I was safe living for myself after so many years of, being terrorized by Israel. I thought that I was in my own country, in my own area, in the West Bank, trying to live on my own. And now you're pulling me out of a car at gunpoint, tearing through it. You're scratching it. You're fucking it up. Me buying this used car is the second nice thing I've ever fucking owned. Now you're coming at me do you want to die? Blast me. Blast me. Don't miss, right? That's what they're saying. They're saying don't miss.
למה אתה מתקרב? היי, היי, היי! תתרחק ממני.
بدش ايدك.
אתה רוצה לראות
ما تحكي ممنوع تصير.
אין לי בעיה, תהרוג אותי! הלו! זוז מהרכב! תעזוב את הרכב!
انت شو بدك بس افهم.
הרכב שלי! זה אדמה שלי ואתה אל תתקרב.
انت جيب الشرطه خليه يعطيهم السياره. اما احنا ما غلطنا. انا ساكن في الخليل. وين بدك كنت ساكن؟ هون ارضنا اشتريناها. لا ما لنا يا حبيبي ارضنا اشتريناها. ما لنا حقنا دفعنا على رئيس بينا يا حبيبي.
ايش؟ ما تعرف شيء. الو قاعدين מתחילים לעשות בעיות עם האנשים גם פה.
بيسووا مشاكل قاعدين.
تبي نسلم؟
تتدخل مالي تتدخلش فيه. احكي شو بدك. ما تمد ايدك. انت جاي تمد ايدك ما إلك. هاي الشرطه جايه. هيك بتشوف هلا بتشوف الفيديوزان اعتدت عليك. ما له يمد ايده على السياره. بتشوف هلا بتشوف الفيديوزان اعتدت عليك. ما له يمد ايده على السياره. ما له قانونا يمد ايده على السياره. لا معاه لا هو شرطي ولا هو جيش يعرس بيد ايده على السياره. رخ الوراق ما لك في الوراق هدول يا زلمه. هدول محمد ولا رخ الوراق.
تعزف ניירות. تعزف.
رخ الوراق. ما تلعب في القرآن. انت قاعدين بيسوي فيها ازعر قاعد.
عزف زي
ما تقعد تمد ايدك عليه. ما تمد ايدك عليه. ما فيش اي مشكله. هم اللي اجوا اعتدوا علينا.
הכל מצולם והכל מתועד. סבבה, תודה. כולם אחורה. אם גנב את האדמה וגם גונב את הברזל. אל תיגע בי.
ما تقعد فيها ازعار.
Mohammed's Hijab is back on this thing where you're going to say Hamas are terrorists, then you need to say that the IDF are a terrorist organization. Rabbi Shmuley is unhappy with this. I'm not saying the IDF is a terror organization. How about they're acting like terrorists? Is that better? Behaving terroristically, cutting off water supply, a civilian population. If you're gonna bomb a hospital with people being treated in it, also hospitals are tall, so that's dumb. But even if there are terrorists in the basement, why is that justification to bomb the hospital? You're sad, pathetic. I play Call of Duty. I know you have actual trophy systems. Throw a trophy system, okay? Just pick it up, throw it again. If you sneak up on Hamas in a tunnel and you genuinely get them in a face-to-face interaction, and you say, listen, we want to talk. I don't think it's on site. I know that to you it's on site. I think that they would actually like to talk to you. Don't want to let them. And so you tell everybody like, well, if we even tried, then it would be on site. Leave us alone while we murder everybody. It's interesting.
When you call the IDF a terror organization, the IDF keeps 1.8 million Arabs alive in Israel.
To one ratio.
The Hamas, this is invention. It's a fact.
Yep, we're back.
Okay, so I just wanted to say that this man is...
No. Is peace ever possible?
I've got a minute uninterrupted.
Is peace ever possible?
Can I speak uninterrupted?
No, you've got to speak about the subject.
I can say what he's been...
Now, this illustrates the point that we established earlier. Piers Morgan is on the side of Israel, because when Rabbi Shmuley debated Cenk, Rabbi Shmuley started with, he's polling at 0. It's 0%. Piers Morgan did not stop Rabbi Shmuley's personal attacks. Palestine is Gaza and the West Bank. Say you're in the West Bank. It's 2015, you're on WhatsApp. One of your boys, his uncle, Your friend's uncle has a cute daughter. You're in the group chat. You know, you're laughing at each other's jokes and it's cute. And like, what's the timeline on seeing her? It's two 20-year-olds. You're both Palestinian. She's in Gaza. You're in the West Bank. Hey, guys, you're never going to see each other not under any circumstances. Under more certain circumstances would we bomb the Al-Shifa hospital, all right? We would bomb the hospital in Rafah before we would let you see each other. And your girlfriend of 8 years, you're gonna get stabbed in the face with a gun before you fucking see your girlfriend, who has the audacity to live in Gaza. Fuck you. And stop yelling. You're doing a lot of yelling at me. I don't like your tone. Now, my question to you is if you would be more or less reasonable after this man is being so unreasonable. Hey, it's giving Hitler salute. You're making me uncomfortable. Me as a Jew. Do you see how easily this could be flipped back on itself? I'm not even saying whether or not I'm Jewish, because I don't think that matters. How about listen to what I'm saying? It's none of your business. Oh, it's axis of resistance. That's what it says. Rabbi Shmuley is like, I'm safer in Dubai. That assumes inherent racism where you wouldn't be safe in Dubai, right? Which is interesting. Then in your own country, which is supposedly Israel, damn, you used to look like a real Jew. He's a shell of himself. He's defending Alan Dershowitz. Israel's most eloquent defender, Alan Dershowitz. Nobody suffered more ever than Jews in the Holocaust. Born in LA? Did you write a book called Kosher Jesus? Because that's kosher sex. Other countries who face similar threat, who Israel should be judged next to, and by this criteria, Israel is quite simply the most moral nation on earth. Fuck you. Not anymore, you're not. Okay, so I like this because it's like, if she wasn't lying, then why didn't she charge him? And it's like, maybe one charge at a time. Why are you... This is the perfect kind of, it's not an attack on the facts, it's an attack on our culture. Am I the only one who's uncomfortable with this? Hours in and I've said nothing. This is disgusting. You're disgusting. He also described Epstein as a once jailed financier. I think he's talking about Epstein. Can people name once jailed financiers in the comments down below, please? Thank you. Oh, what a good line. Establishing the truthfulness is not the purpose. Purpose is to ask, capital W, that's an incorrect capital. It's in the middle of the sentence, that's weird. Where are the Jewish leaders to rise to Mr. Dershowitz's defense? He's America's best known defender of Israel. Interesting. That should tell you, that should tell the audience here why they should raise their eyebrow at some things, maybe. The constant death threats from the Israel haters. No, it's Zionist haters. It's your personal haters for the way you conduct yourself in public activity. That's why. I'm not even going to call myself a Zionist hater, but I'm going to say, Rabbi Shmuley, I hate you. When he's subject of bizarre attacks. That's weird. Did he say about somebody being strapped to a chair? No? What did I have written down about a chair? Hold on. Oh. This is what I meant by, like, until I get exhausted. Like, all right, so, yeah, Churchill should have genocided Germans because the atom bombs were good. It's not my opinion. That's if we watch what he says for too long, that's what we'll believe. Let's write out to Ben Shapiro. Yeah, you don't know this, but I've been here for 6 hours. I think I just hit the last wall.
Multiculturalism.
Shut the fuck up. Is he doing body cam arrest videos? Wait, what? Ben Shapiro is such a YouTuber. It's actually ridiculous.
Sing it with me. Welcome to Hamas. We've been waiting for you. Welcome to Hamas. We've been waiting for you. Welcome to Hamas. We've been waiting for you. Welcome to Hamas. To Hamas. To Hamas.